Welcome in everyone here to the Civic Center. The fans are piling in and getting ready for game number 1 here of the Moccasins' second season. New year, same goal for this team. Alongside Pete Fricano, Joseph Furtado, welcome into our pregame show. The Moccasins, Pete, going against the Biloxi Breakers now. It should be a fun one. It's game 1 of 56.
Yeah, here we go. Season 2, like we talked last year at the end. This is chapter 2 in the saga. We can't be more excited about this. It seemed 6 months in the making, and boy, I tell you, it's here. And I think the fans are ready to go and ready to blow the roof off the Civic Center.
The Moccasins led the league last year in FPHL attendance, looking to do the same thing here this season for 2 years in a row, and hockey just continues to grow here in the South.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's so much more hockey now in the South. Hey, you know, Biloxi's having a makeover. Last year they were Mississippi Seawolves, and now they're a whole new look team. Right now, the Continental Division, which we are currently in, is the toughest by far in the Federal Hockey League. This is going to be a great season overall.
Well, the Breakers, they went full rebrand, the name change, the colors, everything about them, they changed everything. The Moccasins also made a change from their own too in the roster. They changed up a lot of different things on this roster, and now they're getting some SPHL talent, also some ECHL talent to really bolster this offense, brought in a lot of new guys.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some of the practice yesterday, and the upper echelon talent that's been brought into this organization is going to be out. It's unbelievable. It's really brought the level of play in this entire league up. You know, you see some of this stuff happen throughout some of these other teams in the league, but this Moccasin team is not going to be messing around. This is a serious competitor, and we look to make some damage in this league.
Not only did they get some new players, they also got a new head coach now coming in, a new bench boss. That's a former Moccasin himself, Russ Perron.
Yeah, Russ has been brought in. Old Moccasin fans know exactly who he is. He's no introduction with these fan base, but I think he's going to add some major firepower to this lineup. I think the boys are ready to play for him and play hard.
Well, former New York Ranger draft pick, what type of impact do you think he's going to make on this lineup?
I think it's going to be an old school, hard, smash-nose hockey. I mean, looking at the talent that we have a lot more size than last year. I think we have a lot more speed. New goaltending duo. Oh boy, the defense has been completely bolstered. It's been an overhaul. We have some returning players, but overall, this is going to be an exciting brand of hockey.
Well, the Moccasins bringing up some new. This game is a former ECHL. The Oilers, it's Austin Albrecht.
Yeah, we're looking forward to Austin Albrecht playing with this team and see what he has. He has a little veteran leadership, and it's just going to be dynamite. We can't wait to see this. Man, like I said, having these former SPHL and ECHL talented players come in, that's really going to add some injection.
And Austin playing for the Tulsa Oilers, now moving his way back to the FPHL here. His first season in the FPHL, and seeing what type of impact he can have here on this team in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm looking forward to is, like I said, the veteran leadership. There's really going to be a surgence, right? This is going to be a whole different Moccasin team. I think the fans are going to be excited about this. We're excited about it. We're really ready to be chomping at the bit and let it go.
Well, also on top of that is, aside from the offense, they really bolstered this defense, bringing in 11 faces here in total on this team. But now this defense, a team who struggled to keep pucks out of their net last season. What do you think the defense will look like this year?
I think it's going to be rock solid, and that's key for your goaltending as well. I mean, you have a great defense in front of you. You're going to have a confident goaltending squad, too. I think last year, perhaps, goaltending got a little tired at the end of the year. That's because we were facing a lot of shots. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think we're going to have a more lockdown defense, which is going to help the goaltending and allow that offense to score as well. Like I said, new brand of hockey. It's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, the Moccasins, the goaltenders too, and faced a lot of shots too. And we know Kuhn is tired in a lot of those games.
Absolutely, and we have Richie Perrant this year backing him up, former Mississippi Seawolf player, but now. Excellent tandem. I'm very excited as the ex-goaltender, as Joseph likes to point out. Excited about our goaltending tandem. I think we got a whole new ball game here. Well, we don't know yet. It's all debatable. But well, I tell you, it feels like 6 months lasted forever, but now here we are again. We're ready to go pick up where we left off.
Well, some of the new talents being brought in, is there anyone you're looking forward to here on this season, going to break out maybe here on this roster?
Well, I'm looking forward to this goaltending talent. I
guess I could have guessed that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shocker for me, but like you said, Albrecht. I mean, that's getting some of those guys in our defensive core. I'm really interested to see how these defensive pairings shape up, how well they play together, what kind of chemistry are we going to have, what is that ultimate third period going to look like? From here on out, we know last year we had those problems in the third period, perhaps. I believe they fixed those. really quick.
67 goals, the Moccasins surrendered in the third period, and it was a struggle for them the final 20 minutes of hockey. So you got to think that's an area they want to tighten up here in game one.
Absolutely. You know, we also had pretty decent penalty. We had a really good penalty kill actually last year, and a really decent power play. I think both the power play and the penalty kill are going to be completely revamped. I think we're going to see a lot of goals in that net this year. I think some goaltenders are going to get a little sunburn on the back of the neck.
The Moccasins, fifth last year in the penalty kill, ranked amongst the league at 83.3%. The power play at 18.4%. So we'll see what type of impact they'll have here in game one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. And this isn't your same Mississippi team that you had last year. The Biloxi Breakers are a different team from top to bottom, from ownership to logo branding to coaching to goaltending. They got one of our divisional foes of Rosenzweig in that, so it's a tough customer in that. It's going to be an interesting battle. We play them somewhere in a ballpark of a dozen times this season. It's going to be exciting hockey.
Rosenzweig too, he's getting the start tonight here for the Biloxi Breakers, and he was, like you said, really tough to solve last season against the Moccasins, and he really shut him down a couple times.
Well, Rosenzweig's a tall goaltender, and those are tough to score against. You got to go shooting low, and you hope for those rebounds. Attack the rebounds and go with it.
Well, we're going to see, and also on top of that too, we're talking about Russ Perrant, but also they brought in Jay Krupp to help there on the bench as well and help out this team too.
Yeah, Jay Krupp's done a great job. I think this whole coaching staff's done a great job with recruiting. You look at this lineup from top to bottom, like I said, you see a few returning players from last year. Those are our core guys. It's going to be interesting to see how this chemistry goes. Like I said before, we saw the practice yesterday for a little while, and those boys were buzzing. So exciting hockey's on the horizon. Year two, let's go with it.
One thing I do want to touch on, though, going back to Josh Rosenzweig, he was 7-1 against the Moccasins last season. They only gave him 19 goals against in that run.
Yeah, it's a great run. He was a tough customer, and so was the Athens Rock Lobsters. They were a difficult team to play against. Also not the same team they were last year. So, throughout the course of the season, the next couple of weeks, we're really going to start to touch base on these other teams in the Continental Division and let you know what the changes were, how we stack up, what's different, and what stayed the same.
Well, let's talk about some of the returning players, though, here for these Moccasins, because they didn't gut their entire roster. They did bring in 11 new faces, but a guy like Corey Cunningham had 37 points last season for these Moccasins and one of their leading point scorers.
Yeah, Corey Cunningham, when he came over from the Hat Tricks, he was on fire. I think in the first few games, he was putting the puck in the net. I think he had 4 points in his first 2 games. I could be wrong. Stats are not my thing all the time, but definitely added an injection into the lineup. He's a quick, skilled player, very smart, great hockey sense, definitely a key returning player.
In 31 games, 20 goals, 11 assists, 31 total points, 18 penalty minutes.
Yeah, that's a good season. And Corey wasn't even here for most of the season. He came in a little bit into it, but glad to have him back.
And then on top of that, too, they're welcoming back the Moe brothers. Now you had Rex Moe, who played 3/4 of the season last year, but Hagen Moe was injured early on in the season. He only played a couple of games with the Moccasins, so now he's going to be coming and returning back to this lineup. Yeah,
it's good to see the Moe brothers, and Rex looks really good. Looks like he came into camp in shape and tough and ready to go. And Hagen, he had that injury.
Tough customer too.
Absolutely. And then Hagen had that injury, season-ending injury, right around Thanksgiving last year, and he was really starting to light it up. So getting the brothers back together is going to be another interesting aspect.
Well, this team should be fun to watch going into this season here. But one player who's a really skillful player is with the FPHL. Well, that's Yanni Liarakos. And we were talking to Yanni. He's really getting in shape. He focused hard on the offseason, working out, and we'll see what type of impact now he's going to have here going into year two, because he came in last year halfway through the year, towards the end of the season, to get to play, even 30 games for the Moccasins. So now we'll get that for the season.
Yeah, Yanni's another player. He looks great. He looks like he's in shape and ready to go. He said he's definitely ready. He's also a player in this league, well over 390 total points with a 1.5 points per game average. That's fantastic. He's going to be putting the puck in the net early and often this season.
409 points for Yanni Liarakos.
Yeah.
So he knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. He is a goal scorer.
Yeah, he's got a nose for the net, and he's also a good setup man too. So we really look forward to getting that going with him.
Well, also on top of that, we'll talk a little about the defense again. And, Frank Schumacher, who also has a birthday tomorrow, he's returning. And he helped the blue line out last season, too.
Yeah, Frank was quite the anchor. And, boy, you're doing some research on him. He played the OHL, played the QMJHL. Those are some big boy leagues. He's got some
ECHL
absolutely
to help this lineup we've been talking about, has SPHL and ECHL experience.
Absolutely. We talk about the veteran leadership, and Frank definitely is that. He was our captain last year. he's looking at anchor that defense again this season.
This team is really continues, through the offense and the defense getting better. That's what this team focused on. That's what Parker focused on as well. Trying to bring this all together and make it a tougher team.
Absolutely, they did exactly that. We have that more toughness, we have more grit, we have more size. I think this defense is going to be fantastic.
Let's move on to the goaltenders. It's Sean Coonan and Rich Parent now. Sean Coonan probably going to get the start here tonight in game number 1. And what do you expect from him tonight?
Well, I think we got a very rested Sean Coonan toward the end of the season. I think his workload was a little up there, which will tire your goaltender out. We also saw him the other night. He said he's feeling great. He's looking forward to the season. They're excited. He's excited about his defense in front of him as well. So I look forward to Sean to have a great time and to hear a lot of Coon in the arena.
Talking to him, and he seems like the whole team really seems like they're really excited to kick this year on. A lot of energy, a lot of buzz in that locker room.
Yeah, and it's great with Sean too. It doesn't matter if he has a bad game or not. He's always smiling. He's looking forward to the next game. But yeah, I think these boys are going to be playing together and they're ready to play for each other for sure. We're excited about it.
Well, it's game 1 finally here of 56, the Monroe Civic Center. But let's preview a little bit about this game here now. It's the Breakers and the Moccasins here in game 1. Things you're looking out for in this game.
Wow, I'm looking to see how everybody gels together. Chemistry is huge with hockey. So it starts with the locker room and the coaching and moves on down. I think these fans are going to be excited. I think they're going to need a roof at the Civic Center after this opening week because it just doesn't, as we say, get any easier. We start playing our rivals right off the jump with Baton Rouge coming up after that. We'll get to that after this one game at a time. But I think we're just excited about some great hockey back here in Monroe.
Well, it's game 1 of 56 here to kick off the FPHL 16th season. So glad you guys can hang around with us here in our pregame show. But the Moccasins and Breakers coming up next. Stay with us after the break.
Moccasins are all warmed up for tonight's game, brought to you by Twin City Pilot. The season's game is brought to you by the Federal Cross-State Hockey League. The Federal Cross-State Hockey League and your Monroe Moccasins would like to thank everybody in attendance and for your support of hockey in the Ouachita Parish. Anyone who uses objectionable language, consumes alcoholic beverages not legally sold inside the arena, or who throws anything on the ice at any player, official, or other spectators shall be subject to immediate penalty from the premises. Moccasin fans, hockey is a family-friendly environment. We remind all fans that children are intended, so please conduct yourselves accordingly. We ask fans to please keep language and gestures to a high standard and respectfulness.
2 for these Moccasins as they welcome the newly rebranded Biloxi Breakers. Game 1, moments away. Welcome inside the Civic Center on a fantastic atmosphere here. We'll welcome you back upstairs inside the broadcast booth. He's Pete Fricano, Joseph Furtado. Hockey's finally back here in Monroe. Pete, it's good to be back.
Oh my gosh, it's good to be back. One more season of not being able to hear each other up here in the broadcast open. This crowd is packed. This building's going to be electric. This is where it's at. We're ready to go.
This building is electric right now. The Moccasins expecting to sell out here tonight for Game 1 of 56. But Pete, right now, it's the Moccasins and the Breakers. The Breakers, a newly rebranded team, but the Moccasins, they added a lot of skill over the offseason.
Absolutely. There's a lot of new offensive firepower, a lockdown defensive core, new goaltending tandem, even new coaching, and a signing of Parker Moskell to play this season.
Well, Pete, it's Game 1 of 56, so what are you looking out for here tonight between the goaltenders? It's Sean Kuhn tonight and Josh Rosenswag on the other end.
Well, Rosenswag and Kuhn had a great battle last year. Rosenswag had the better of them, but I don't see that happening this season. With a much better defense on the Moccasins' end, this is going to be a dandy tonight.
Josh Rosenswag 7-1 against the Moccasins, 19 goals given up in that run. So how do the Moccasins, with their new firepower, try to solve him tonight?
Shots on net, shots on net, shots on net. I can never stress that enough. Rosenswag's a tall goaltender, over 6'3". Shoot low, get those rebounds, crash the net. He gets irritated easy. Go ahead and irritate him.
Well, let's take you down to the ice right now as the Moccasins are coming out here. Puck drop moments away here in Game 1.
Dr. Miguel Lopez with LSU Oster Sports Medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, the Monroe Moccasins ask that you please rise and remove your hats and join us in a moment of silence, remembering those of the hockey community that we lost over this summer. Former Moccasins player Josh Bonney, number 88 of the Athens Rock Monsters, Orca Weisblatt, and longtime Moccasin fans, Amanda McDaniel. Your Monroe Moccasins would like to ask that you please remain standing for the national anthem tonight, performed by the Richwood High School Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the Moccasins attacking zone.
Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we present to you the ceremonial puck drop. Please welcome to the ice, Mayor of Monroe, Friday Ellis. Representing the city of West Monroe, Police Chief Jason Pleasant. Mayor Brown of Ridgewood and Mayor Talbot of Sterlington. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for each of these men on the ice.
Welcome in everyone here to game one of 56 here, season 2 for these Moccasins here in the FPHL alongside Pete Fricano, Taylor Costa in just a moment. I'm Joseph Furtado. So glad you guys can be with us here. It's the Moccasins and the Breakers. And let's turn it to our starting netminders here for tonight. Sean Kuhn getting the start between the pipes. He has a 13-16-0-6 record here in his FPHL career. His last win against the Seals is back on March 29th. And on the other end, Josh Rosenzweig for the Breakers. A 12-10-0-2 record for him in his FPHL tenure. And we are underway. So glad you guys can be with us. As a long wait for hockey to finally return, and now it is here in October. The Moccasins look to work it back along. Scantlebury back on for Moskal. His shot right there and stopped by Rosenzweig.
That's a good start for the Moccasins. Parker Moskal getting a shot on goal there off of Josh Rosenzweig. Looks interesting seeing him over there in a Biloxi uniform opposed to a Rock Lobsters uniform, but nonetheless, tough customer in net. Somebody we got to get to early and often.
Well, this will set up an attacking zone face-off here for the Moccasins. And Pete, you know, this team right now, you got to think they want to get on the board first and get this home crowd into it early.
Absolutely. You want to take all this energy and put it to good use. I think they're looking to do that really quick. This team, I said, is going to be very exciting this season, and it's not going to disappoint, that's for sure.
So opening minute here almost gone by in period number 1. You know, these fans, they waited so long for hockey to return here. The Moccasins last season, 18-25, 9-1-3, 71 points. And you'd think, you know, hey, that's not a bad record. 71 points might put you in the playoffs, but it's a tough Continental Division.
Oh, extremely tough. It's the tough of the two. The Empire seems to be not necessarily a cakewalk, but it's more predictable to pick, you know, the 1 through 4 who we think is going to make the playoffs. The Continental, that's another story.
This one tipped all the way back on in. Picked up here by Mo. Now the Moccasins looking to reorganize to center ice, and out they come right now on the money. Ballant, he'll dump it in, and that one goes off the stick there, Rosenzweig. It's going to be sent all the way back around here to the near side for Cole Crowder. Played 37 games in pro hockey across the SPHL and ECHL, but still looking for his first pro goal. Out on the ice right now.
Both teams seem poised to play. Like we said, this is a totally different Biloxi team that we saw last year. Last year they were the Mississippi Seawolves. That is no longer a thing, but this is not the same team from the state of Mississippi that it was last year.
Yeah, no, the Breakers, you know, they did a complete rebrand, Pete, from the colors, the name, everything. Used to be the Seawolves, and now this team who is entering their 4th season in the FPHL did a full rebrand.
Yeah, from the coaching staff to the rebrand, the colors, all the way up. Whole new team, whole new look. They can be dangerous this season. Something to watch.
Crowder going to dump that one back on in, and now it's played to the near side on the open winger. Here's Ballant going to take a peek and hop this one out to center ice. Going to fall there for Pekarczyk. And now it's sent back up the ice on the money. Moccasins will retrack it here right now. This time, Sam Turner, D-to-D, the former Seawolf last season. Out in the neutral zone, Moskal can quite get to it. Now the Moccasins trying to jump back on it. Puck out in the neutral zone. And reworked across the ice now. Trying to jam it along the boards. This time, they'll squeeze it 3 to the point and chop back in by Turner. And a shot, they score! How about it? Parker Moskal opens the scoring for Monroe.
Parker Moskal, welcome back to the FPHL as a player. Second shot on goal. Good shot right at the Marty and Marks circle there on the top of that circle. Snaps it right past Rosenzweig's glove side and never saw it, I don't think. Beats them low. 1-0. Monroe Moccasins lead. That's what they needed. They needed to get the fans in early. Go ahead and get on the board as we see the Snakes fly on the ice as our tradition is. First goal of every game. The Moccasins score. Fans throw the Snakes on the ice, and there we have it. 1-0 Monroe Moccasins, very early, 17-24. Still remaining in the first period. What a great feeling, Joseph.
Yeah, Moskal, who appeared in 3 games last season, picked up 4 points, long-time FPHL veteran. And Pete, you know, a player like Parker, who has averaged 1.7 points per game, you know, he's a tough player to stop when he gets going.
Absolutely. I always thought he was one of the better players in this league. I was never proven wrong. Great shot by Parker. It's quick. So like I said, surprising Rosenzweig. I don't think he saw that one coming, and before he knew what happened, it was behind him. You know, Joseph, just as we expected, the roof blew off the place.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were expecting, right? These fans waited, Pete, so long to get back in this building. They waited for Monroe Moccasins hockey to return, and it's finally back. And again, just a few minutes in, they light the lamp and they get on the board first.
And you know, even talking to some of our sponsors, they were saying about how much the excitement's been building throughout the last several months, and everybody's been ready to go. And here they are now. They packed it in. The wait is over.
Well, Parker Moskal gets the Moccasins on the board first, and they lead it 1-0. And Pete, we were talking about this team having a tough time beating Rosenzweig last season. They get on him early here and take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. You want to go quick, and like I said before, shooting low on a tall goaltender is key. That's exactly what happened. A low shot, beat him. Great goal, great start for the Moccasins.
Almost 5 minutes gone by here in period number 1. This will be tiptoed back in and throttled around by Kuhn, and we get a call here. A penalty will come, and it will be a penalty.
Celebrating a birthday, and number 24.
So the Moccasins will be shorthanded. It's going to be the former Seawolf and Sam Turner to go to the box. The power play now here for the Breakers.
Yeah, Sam Turner goes to the box. Biloxi on the power play. We're going to get a look and see what our penalty kill looks like here for the 25-26 season. Getting tested early. I believe that new defensive core is going to fare quite well. Having a little issue here with the face-off. Who's coming in, who's not. This faceoff also coming to the right of Sean Kuhn in our own defensive zone. And they're still taking a look, and referees are having a discrepancy maybe with the clock.
Yeah, it says 6:52 on the Jumbotron. It's 16:52 left. A power play here, though, for the Seawolves coming up. And last season, Pete, the Breakers, I should say. See the new name change kind of getting everybody here, right? The Biloxi Breakers now. This team was 12% on the power play last season, 27 for 225. Meanwhile, the Moccasins, pretty good on their penalty kill at 5th in the league for 83%.
Yeah, that's a pretty great percentage. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I think number 5 in the league, that's pretty darn good. And the penalty kill was good last year. I suspect it's going to be much better this year.
Hard check there along the boards, shadowed by Mo, trying to tip this off the wall. Trying to escape there with Stefanini, who had a pretty good year last year in his first season in the FPHL. Worked below the goal line, and now Sean Kuhn was knocked down and leaked through and in. A power play goal for the Breakers.
Yeah, Sean Kuhn had got knocked into his own player. Couldn't quite tell who he did at what point. If he was tripped, if he was pushed, if he lost an edge, but took Sean Kuhn out. He couldn't recover. Biloxi saw the mistake, and he capitalized on it, put it in. Pucks behind Sean Kuhn were tied up here at 1.
So a 1-1 game as the Breakers come right back and get a power play goal to lock this one up here at 1 apiece.
And it sounds like they're going to look at something here. I'm not quite sure. We hear the Jeopardy music playing, but nobody's really going to a replay booth or anything at this time. So, although Yanni Lirakos is waiting for the referee's nod to go ahead and get in that face-off circle, but now all the players are kind of milling about. So we're going to see what the deal is.
Well, we'll take a look right here at the replay.
It looks like the defenseman lost an edge and went into Sean Kuhn, but definitely was capitalized by Biloxi. I don't think Sean Kuhn expected that to happen. That's one of those things that are kind of freak.
Well, we'll see how the Moccasins will try to get this one back, and a good look there. Rosenzweig catching a piece of that one as the fans starting to come to life here in this building. At the blue line, Schumacher, the touch across. Too hot to handle that time. They'll look to reorganize it right now on the cycle. Touched all the way around the back from Andrew Ballant. One of the newly acquired players, Pete, to this Moccasins lineup.
Yeah, Andrew Ballant was another key piece that came in. He's got some more experience playing in the ECHL as well, so we look for him to make a big contribution coming into the season.
And he fell down right there, couldn't quite get to the puck, and now allows the Breakers to head back the other way with Cole Crowder. Trying to force that towards the front of the net, and now speeding on out come the Moccasins right now. Here they come, Forneris with it. Swings out to his right, protects the puck, trying to drop the shoulder, cycles back down low on the touch in front, onto the way, and the rebound turned aside there from Rosenzweig. Back up high now, and green shot, flagged down. That time by Rosenzweig.
Very speedy Forneris, took that puck end to end, coast to coast, got behind Rosenzweig. The Moccasins had a couple good chances down there at their own end, but a long shot from the point. Trailed by Rosenzweig, and we're going to go to the break.
14:56 left to go, period number 1 in a 1-1 game, back in 60 seconds after this. Welcome back in, everyone, here to the Civic Center. The Moccasins and the Breakers going head-to-head in Game 1. 14:56 left to go, and a pair of goals here for both sides right now. The Moccasins who struck first from Parker Moskal to make it 1-0, and the Seawolves came back moments ago and tied the game at 1 apiece.
Yeah, that was a very freak play there with the player losing the edge. I mean, he might have been pushed in too by the Biloxi player. Doesn't matter. Tied up at 1.
They're jamming away at it on the doorstep, and that one shut down by Rosenzweig. And he has been busy, Pete, here in the last couple minutes of this first period.
Absolutely. This season has a totally different season, though, feel from last year. This Moccasin team is hungry and just completely attacking this net with Rosenzweig. Almost put another one in. They definitely are playing with an edge and a purpose tonight, I'm telling you.
14:48 left to go, period number 1. So glad you guys can be with us alongside Pete Fricano, Taylor Costa, Joseph Furtado. So glad you guys can be with us. The Moccasins going left to right now, wearing their white jerseys. Some of that black trim and orange on them. I think those are going to be auctioned off after the game, Pete. The Seawolves in their blue and white uniforms as well. They're going right to left. This one on the 2-line pass ahead. Here comes Declan Conway, the former Moccasin, sends that one high over the top. And now it's going to bounce back around over on the far right side. And now we get a whistle here blown dead for a hand pass.
Yeah, he struck on the side. Someone took a swipe at Parker Moskal, and they're going to go ahead and have a little gathering.
Right in front of the Moccasins bench. Everybody coming together right now. Moskal with his helmet knocked off, and he's throwing a few right hands. Rex Moen there as well. And everybody getting together right now. As Moskal now head to the penalty box.
I was going to say just before that started, we're still having some more jaw jacking down there at the penalty box with Biloxi. We're going to have to watch that for the remainder of the game.
Declan Conway as well, the former Moccasin, going to the box. And maybe on the different side here for him, you know, we're going to the penalty box, the fans heckling the away players, and now he's getting that same treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Declan Conway's going to probably play with a little chip on his shoulder after getting traded away last season. We're going to have to see. But just before that play, Biloxi had a really good break up the far wing board. And Corson Green just put on the afterburners and caught it. What speed this team has this year. These boys are just bigger and faster. It's just one of those things to where it's a comforting thing to see. This is a whole new look team Moccasins has this season. They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder, all 56. This is going to be an exciting brand of hockey for the city of Monroe this season, that's for sure.
So right now, the only customers inside the penalty box, Declan Conway for the Breakers, Parker Moskal for the Moccasins. Both are serving 2-minute penalties, and it will be 4-on-4. We'll skate 4-on-4 for the first time tonight.
Now, Joseph, something to keep an eye on is when they both get out of the box, it could be another interesting go.
And a shot that is going to ramp up over the top and into the mesh as the Breakers were coming inside the Moccasin zone, and that will set up another attacking zone faceoff. And it's going to set up to the far side faceoff circle, glove hand of Sean Kuhn. And lining in to take it, another former Moccasin and Caden Henry.
Yeah, Caden Henry, another Moccasin, as you say, yeah, indeed. Speedster, newly acquired for the Breakers. Good asset for them. We'll see how he responds against his own team.
Well, the Moccasins breaking back up the ice over on the far side corner. Trying to work it on free. Now Ballant coming over to help out. Trying to pry this puck loose. Andrew Ballant. And he'll wiggle this one back out low to high. And a long shot score! Rex Moe gives Monroe the lead.
Rex Moe with a snapshot, looked like seeing eye shot. Right above the circles by the Coca-Cola logo, and I don't think Rosenzweig saw that one either. That one caught him by surprise. Second goal to Rosenzweig's right. His goaltender's glove hand. Watch that puck come out to Rex Moe. He just squirts on out. Took a couple steps and just let it go. I really don't think Rosenzweig saw it. If he did, he completely misplayed it. Another good shot from behind him. He wasn't even close to playing that. Complete misplay. And we're looking at a 2-1 Moccasin lead here with 13:45 left to go in the first.
Here in our Marty and Mark replay. A 2-1 lead now for the Moccasins. 2 goals in this first period. Out come the Seawolves. Again, right to left over on the far side face-off corner. Now they'll tap it on out. This time on the turning stick here was Forneris. And now they'll drop it on back, looking to reset Yanni Liarakos. And a delayed penalty coming up, and it's going to be against the Breakers as the Moccasins bring it across their attacking blue line on the right side. That shot deflects around Stefanini, trying to play it up top, but that allows Flanagan to touch it up, and we will get the call. So the Moccasins now will go to the power play, their first one tonight.
And first one of the season, that's for Cole Crowder going to the box.
2 minutes slashing.
So 13:09 left to go here in period number 1. So glad you guys can be joining us over on our YouTube and Facebook page, as well as over on 103 Rocks. Thank you guys for joining us. He's Pete Ricano, Taylor Costa between the glass. I'm Joseph Furtado. Game 1 of 56, and the Moccasins now on the power play. If you're just joining us, a 2-1 lead here for Monroe. Trying to add their lead here in this first period. And Pete, a team last year for the Moccasins in the first frame, they netted 64 goals last year in the first period, but now coming out with 2 already.
Yeah, coming out with 2 is lighting the world on fire here. We got another 29 seconds before Moskal and Conway come back out of the box, so we're going to see what happens there.
Out to Turner, center point. He'll walk it along for Balance. Looking to take the pass right now. Forneris turning, a shot on goal, rebound, score! The new guys on the block are getting in the action. A 3-1 lead for Monroe and a power play goal.
Andrew Balance just buried that rebound, and we're going to take a look at that in a second. But Rosenzweig is just beside himself at this point. Definitely not characteristic of his gameplay as we saw him last season. But the Monroe Moccasins are all over this Biloxi goaltender. Early and often is how you want to score, and that's exactly what's going on tonight here in the Snake Pit.
We'll take a look here at the replay.
Run back down to that replay. Good puck movement by the Mocs. Got that shot on goal. Big rebound and was just completely buried. No questions asked. 3-1 Monroe Moccasins.
A much different team, Pete, here in the first 20 minutes of hockey, and we haven't even gotten halfway through here in period number 1.
Yeah, this is exactly what these fans were looking for. You know, that's another catalyst of bringing these fans into this building. You know, we got some more games coming up really soon. We'll talk about that later, but this team is on fire.
12 minutes to go, period number 1. You're just joining us, a 3-1 lead here for the Moccasins. The last goal coming on the power play to make it 3-1. And it was Andrew Balance, his first name Moccasins uniform. And Pete, this Moccasins team looks completely different, and Parker Moskal building this team, and they're already out 3-1 here in this first period, completely different from last season.
Oh, 100%. And Parker Moskal even taking a shot from his own blue line on Rosenzweig. You figure, hey, why not? And even shot at the same area that keeps beating him. But boy, I tell you, this team is going to be fun to watch this season. These fans are really in for a treat.
So off the face-off, the Moccasins control the puck inside the breaker zone over on the far side corner. Diagonal pass up high, and Rexlow scores again!
Oh, Rexy going to town on Rosenzweig.
His second of the night at 11:34 makes it 4-1.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say these Moccasins have found a weakness on Rosenzweig. Josh Rosenzweig looked to be set, but the puck came out to the point. Rex Moore had let it go, but all the same spot, and we also have a goaltending change. That didn't last too long.
first time that Josh Rosenzweig has had to be pulled against the Moccasins. He was 7-1 last season. Pete only gave up 19 goals against this Moccasins team. Gave up 4 here in the first period.
4-1. We're not even halfway through the first period. Opening game, and Eli Bouchard comes in. Josh Rosenzweig has been chased. His night is over.
Well, 11-13 left to go here, period number 1, and a 4-1 lead here for the Moccasins. Josh Rosenzweig's night is over, and Eli Bouchard coming in now with a 13-16, 0-2 record on a 2-game losing streak dating back to last season. Trying to help his team get out of this one, down 4-1 here.
Bouchard played 2 seasons with the Watertown Wolves, and the new Biloxi coach, Charlie Pence Jr., played for him over there, so he's got some confidence in his goaltender. He brought him over to Biloxi. Let's see what he has in store. And tell you what, quite the momentum that the Moccasins have right now. I don't know if changing a goaltender is going to help quite any much.
I mean, this team, Pete, is coming out firing on all cylinders right now here in game number 1, putting up 4 in this first period. Crisscrossing inside the zone right now. Schumacher gives his man no room, and now the Moccasins looking to escape to center ice. Stefanini going to fall to him, and now leak across the far side, right up the middle. Here goes Monroe in the backhand. Turned away that time by Bouchard. At the right point, slid across, and another one-timer there. That time from Kyler Matthews, who also brings some SPHL and ECHL experience. He'll pinch over on the far side. This will bleed back out to center ice. Right at the Moccasins logo as turning with control. Here goes Monroe on it. And the drop pass up high. A shot from the outside is stopped there by Eli Bouchard. And that'll bring us to another media timeout. 9:46 left to go. Back in a moment here from the Civic Center. The Moccasins lead it 4-1. Welcome back, and everyone here to the Civic Center, and those tuning in on our YouTube and Facebook page, and also on the radio station on 103 Rock. So glad you guys can be with us. A 4-1 lead right now for the home team. The Moccasins on top right now, and some extra activity right after the face-off. Everybody locking up below the goal line right now.
Looks like everybody's kind of got an answer partner, and Parker Moscow's taking some punches, but it's okay because he's not dropping the gloves.
Declan Conway and Parker Moscow going at it right now, locked up behind the Breakers' net.
We got round 2 at that, but I don't know if Parker's dropped his gloves, so he's not going to get a fighting on that. Not even quite sure what spawned all that, but everybody had a partner at that point. We've got a yard sale out here, sticks and gloves, helmets everywhere. Well, I can tell you something, Joseph. Already we're going to have quite the rivalry with Biloxi. I believe we play them at least a dozen times this season. Next time we meet them is going to be Halloween and November 1st. And I think a lot of guys on this team are going to have some boxes checked. scores to settle, so we're going to have to watch how this is going to play out for the remainder of the game.
All of this right now. So glad you guys can be with us though. 9:39 remaining. Some extra two right now in front of the penalty box.
Meanwhile, Parker Moskal is furious with something with Declan Conway, and the referees almost had to wrangle him to the ice. But it looks like right now they're going to escort him off the ice. I'm not quite sure what they're going to call on that. Maybe they're just going to let it cool off, give maybe 10-minute misconduct. We're going to have to see exactly what the call is, but he was pretty upset about something. He seems to have been targeted so far twice here in the first period, but I think the referee is just going to have a little chat with him. And like I said earlier, he did not drop his gloves in the skirmish. Typically, if you do not drop your gloves and you're getting punched by a player that has dropped his gloves, you're more likely to get the roughing penalty. But we're going to have to see what the calls are going to be. Referees are all huddling and talking right now.
Well, Pete, we saw this earlier in the opening minutes of the first period where Declan Conway and Parker Moskal got into it right in front of the Moccasins bench. And now here, we're not even out of this period, just halfway through it at 9-9. They were throwing blows again here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like deja vu. It wasn't even a factor of that was going to be a thing. And then they came together, and Conway looked like he threw the first punch. I'd have to kind of look at some replays, but boy, everything really exploded at once. So we're going to have to see what's going to have to come about this. Right now, the captains are talking in front of the penalty box right now. Parker Moskal's being escorted off the ice, still talking to the linesman. Not sure how that conversation's going. Trying to look at the body language. Meanwhile, Sean Kuhn is pacing back and forth, trying to stay warm. So we're going to have to see what these penalties are going to be.
Monroe Moccasins, number 13. 5 minutes for fighting.
Well, Pete, right now, let's just kind of go back and recap this first period.
Number 17 for your
As the penalties
5-minute major.
are announced by the PA announced. But what a start here for the Moccasins, Pete. They come out here with Parker Moskal against the Moccasins on the board just a couple minutes in. They take a 1-0 lead, and the Breakers, they come right back, kind of off a fluky play, right? Kuhn fell down, got ran into by his own player, and then the Breakers, they cash in, they tie the game at 1, but then Monroe comes back with 3 straight goals.
Yeah, this has been quite the game. I mean, we're only halfway through it, and we've already had something for everybody. We've had players falling into a goaltender. We've had several skirmishes, some fights. Looks like we've already had a 10-minute game misconduct thrown in there against Parker Moskal. We're going to have to get a little more clarification with that. I want to make sure we're giving the proper terminologies of what the penalties are actually. PA system's a little hard to see, so we're going to look at the computer system. But the goals, I mean, 5 goals already, and this has been quite the game. And we could already see that this is going to be one heck of a rivalry coming up. Last year, Mississippi Seawolves, same Biloxi Breakers, had quite the rivalry. I think this is one rivalry renewed and then some. So something to watch. Like we had said earlier, this Continental Division, which the Moccasins and Breakers are both part of, is the toughest by far in the Federal Prospect Hockey League. It's something to watch. It's going to be great hockey. This night so far has been no difference.
Hey, happy birthday to Emery Powell, Amanda Hicks, Cole Martin, Michaela Harwell, Frank Connor, Lillian Stevenson.
Still a lot going on down there, Joe.
Well, right now, the players are going to line up out at center. Now they're going to move this back towards the face-off dot, just outside the Seawolf zone on the near side wall.
Let's go, Moccasins!
And the face-off one here by Monroe with 9:35 left to go. It's dumped back in, slowed up here this time by Bouchard in relief of Josh Rosenswag, who was pulled after giving up 4 goals to start this first period. Looking to roll back in. Here come the Breakers, trailing right now by 3. Pulling up on a dime is Crowder. Trying to swing this one back down low. Shot 7-2 right now in favor of the Moccasins. Bounced all the way down the ice. Gallant tracking his man in a foot race, runs him down. That was Pavlov. And this will bleed all the way back on out to the neutral zone, picked up by Matthews. He'll head man this pass all the way back ahead, and now the Moccasins gain the zone. Dubé Plouffe with it. Trying to tie up here along the near side wall. Down to 8:30 left to go here in this first period. The Moccasins going left to right as the Seawolves will bounce this one back out of the zone, and Matthews will shell it right back around on the hard around. Played by the Breakers on the far side. Right in front of the Breakers bench. This puck moved across the ice and tossed back in. Over the stick of Stefanini. Trying to get to it. Skate to Blade, trying to work it free is Dylan Hullaby. Played a few games last season, Pete, with the Moccasins, and he was traded to the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and that's where we really saw him trying to find his game when he was over with Danbury last season.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, Dylan really came into his own when he went over to Danbury. I believe he even had a hat trick last season. He really fired it up, changed his game, found himself, and found his way back to Monroe, and I know he's excited to be here, and we're excited to have him back. Big body, big talent.
This one skipped around here inside the Moccasin zone, below their goal line. As the Breakers get to the puck, they'll try to cycle it as it comes all the way around towards the near side. And now Schumacher will knock this on back. He'll get it across D to D and take a peek right now. Felt the pressure and trying to slip that one back out across as it finds its way back to the neutral zone. And poked on forward by the Breakers. And now the Moccasins trying to jump on it. They do. Here they come. Here's Forneris with it. They'll find a pass across and looking to play it right back in front again. As it'll come back along here this time for Declan Flanagan. And a save there from Sean Kuhn. As Stefanini trying to pry this puck free. Looking across the ice, has an open man. Austin Albrecht with it. They'll let this go ahead. 2-on-1 developing for the Moccasins, and they score! Carlos Forneris adds to Monroe's lead. It's 5-1 with 6:48 left to go.
It looks like the newcomers are having a whole welcome home party coming here to Monroe. Carlos Forneris just buries a great pass across, tape to tape. The new kids on the block are really rolling this evening. Doesn't matter who the goaltenders are, they're scoring at will tonight. Pass across and just beating the goaltender clearly. Look at the celebration on the ice. This team here is really just clicking on all cylinders.
So the Moccasins firing on all cylinders here in the first period, leading this one 5-1 with 6:40 left to go here of play. Moccasins trying to work this one back out. The Breakers right inside Monroe's zone, just inside the near side circle. Trying to work it free. It's going to come back out and loose to the far side. Rescued this time by Austin Albrecht, former Tulsa Oiler in the ECHL. His last 2 seasons he spent as the assistant captain at 64 points, yes, in 119 games. Bounce back down low. Shelled back in that time again by Yanni Liarakos, the former Seawolf last season. Rimmed around now towards the near side inside the Biloxi zone. And they'll just throw it all the way back down. It's picked up here by Monroe. From their own end, looking to start this one back ahead. Dumped all the way back on down, and that's going to find its way into the mesh there inside the Moccasin zone. 5:44 left to go. So glad you guys can be joining us over on our YouTube page and Facebook as well, and also those listening on the radio station for the first time this season over on 103 Rock. So glad you guys can be joining us. A fun one here in Monroe, joined by Pete Vercano, Taylor Costa, Joseph Furtado with you.
You know, to go back and clarify those penalties on Parker Moskal, he got a game misconduct, 10-minute misconduct, and he got ejected for continuing an altercation is how it has been listed. So there's the clarification we have as we go to the computer and get the official results from the FPHL.
Yeah, Moskal, who was shown the door and taken out of this game. As Schumacher deep below his goal line, trying to work it over on the far side corner. It's thrown back towards the front of the net, and Sean Kuhn will hang on to that. Hasn't really been too busy, Pete, here in this first period. It's really been all Monroe leading 5-1.
You know, and that's okay, but Sean's still staying sharp. You know, before that big altercation happened, what I was going to say was it's hard for a goaltender to come in cold off the bench like Bouchard. And lo and behold, the Moccasins are still scoring at will. So a cold goaltender off the bench is always a good benefit, and you still see Josh Rosenzweig over there on the Biloxi Breakers bench. He definitely knows he had a rough night.
Yeah, and you know, for Josh Rosenzweig, who was pulled earlier in this first period as that one skipped along the blue paint, Sean Kuhn able to turn it aside. But Josh Rosenzweig, he was so good against the Moccasins last season, 7-1 record, and to go up and give up 4 goals against this team, you can just tell a much different team. They've added much more firepower, and they ran him out early.
Oh, and every goal was a good goal, too. There was nothing fluky about anything. They were great shots. Some he had misplayed, and doesn't matter. The puck's in the back of the net. You can't score if you don't shoot. They are shooting tonight.
The Moccasins seem to be finding scoring everywhere, and especially a lot of their goals seem to be coming off the rush, too.
You know, and I got to ask, Joe, you recall a Moccasins period last year where they lit a goaltender up for 5.
No, I don't recall actually that one. I mean, the Moccasins, though, much different team from year one, and, you know, it takes time to build teams, right? And the Moccasins team, it's only game 1 of 56, right? But you can really see the players they've added so far, the type of caliber team they could have.
Well, the thing that's impressing me so far is the way it seems that they've already gelled together. It looks like they've been playing together for years, but it hasn't been even remotely close to that. It's only possibly been a week or two, maybe, but wow, what a great turnaround.
Yeah, now their new bench boss too, and Russ Perrant as well. I think he's got to be happy. The former New York Rangers draft pick and longtime Moccasin too.
Yes, it's great to have 2 Moccasins, ex-Moccasins, actually the founding Moccasins on the bench with Darren Dugan and Coach Russ. This is going to be a special season.
And there's a shot from the top of the face-off circle and right into Bouchard. He'll hang on, and that will draw some attention at the end here with 3:40 left to go.
Yanni Lirakos came in hard to the net, roughing up one of the players from the Breakers, but nothing's coming out of that. And we're going to go ahead and hit a commercial break on that note.
Well, 3:40 left to go, period number 1. The Moccasins are on top right now, 5-1. Back in 60 seconds.
Audio Jungle.
Big pre-owned savings, big pre-owned selection. It's all here at Ryan Chevrolet. Pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, GM certified pre-owns. Shop them all online at ryanchevy.com or on Oliver Road in Monroe. Every Chevy certified is backed with a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty.
Welcome back in, everyone, here to the Civic Center in Monroe, Louisiana. Season number 2 for the Moccasins. Game number 1, and the Breakers and the Moccasins. Thanks for joining us over on 103 Rocks and also on our YouTube and Facebook page. Joined by Taylor Costa, Pete Fricano, Joseph Furtado. Pete, what a period for these Moccasins, leading 5-1 here in the final 3:40 left to go of this first period.
I'm seeing these boys keep the foot on the gas pedal. This has just been a very entertaining game, to say the very least, so far. I'm pleasantly surprised to see what's going on. I had a great feeling about these acquisitions. You know, you only know how good the players are when you see the stats and things on paper, but seeing it live here is something completely different. It's quite energetic. These fans are really on their feet tonight. This is going to be, like I said, one great season. I believe this is a good way to set the tone early.
And another really good turnout here, Pete. You take a look right now here on screen at this arena, and the Moccasin fans filling the seats here inside this building.
Yeah, this is another great crowd. It's going to be close to a sellout. We're going to have to see what the official numbers are. You know, sometimes you have people that don't show up but bought a ticket. But boy, I tell you, there's very little orange seats left here in the stadium tonight.
So this one deflected back on out to the neutral zone and picked up here. Left to go. 2-on-1 developing here this time for the Breakers, trying to get it on goal. That time